hadn't showed up. You helped, the mission failed.
Dead Marines, dead colonists. And in the end, we still didn't get that beacon.
You saved a lot of lives, Commander. It might be hard to keep that in perspective with what happened to Jenkins.
Thanks, Williams. I needed to hear that. I think you're gonna fit in here just fine.
Thanks, Commander.
Yes, Commander?
Dr.
Is there something you need?
What do you know about Captain Anderson?
I've served with him for a few tours now. He knows when to let things slide and when to crack the whip. The crew knows he's seen pretty much anything they'll ever run into. And he cares about the people under his command.
How well do you know the lieutenant?
I'd never worked with him before this mission. But he has an impressive service record, over a dozen special commendations. Tends to keep to himself, though. Maybe because of the headaches. It's not easy being an L2.
What does that have to do with it?
Well, most biotics now use the L3 implants. Lieutenant Alenko was wired with the old L2 configuration. Sometimes there are complications.
What kind of complications?
Severe mental disabilities, insanity, crippling physical pain. There's a long list of horrific side effects. Caden's lucky. He just gets migraines.
How did you end up serving on an Alliance ship?
I enlisted right out of med school. Earth always seemed boring to me. Too safe, too secure. I figured the colonies were teeming with exotic adventure. I wanted to travel the stars, tending the wounds of tough soldiers with piercing eyes and sensitive souls. Turns out military life isn't quite as romantic as I'd imagined. But humanity needs the Alliance if we want to keep expanding through the Traverse, and the Alliance always needs good doctors. So I stayed on to do my part.
And Dr. Chakwas looks a lot younger in this Legendary Edition than she's supposed to be. She looks a lot older in the other in the next two games, and they aren't that much further in the future, timeline-wise.
Ever think you made the wrong choice?
Sometimes I think about opening a private practice back on Earth, or maybe taking a position at one of the new med centers out in the colonies. But there's something special about working on soldiers. If I left the Alliance now, I'd feel like I was abandoning them.
I should go.
Goodbye, Commander.
Glad to see you're okay, Commander. Glad to see you're okay, Commander.
Guess I have no special dialogue with him. Ooh, Anderson.
Go speak to Joker when you're ready. Tell him to bring the Normandy into dock.
Oh, those are just regular NPCs.
Joker's waiting for you on the bridge.
I think you can use that elevator or walk up the stairs. And loading took so long in the older edition that it's usually always faster to walk up the stairs. Oh no, that elevator I think takes you down to the cargo bay. Gave me a codex link, which I will not be reading my codex because it's all like background lore and stuff that I already know. And that would add even more time to this, what is going to be an already extremely long playthrough. So, the elevators in Mass Effect were notorious for being super long. Illogically and physically impossibly long because they were loading screens. They were hidden loading screens. The game was loading the area you're traveling
Hey, Commander. Looking for some extra supplies before you head out?
What have you got?
Whatever you want. Armor, weapons, mods. It's not standard Alliance issue, but that's not necessarily a bad thing. Well, as long as you don't mind paying for it.
Why should I pay you for my weapons and armor?
My stuff doesn't come from the Alliance. I have to purchase it myself, and it's not cheap. Hell, the licenses alone have set me back more than I'd like. But no licenses, no goods. Without the goods, I'm out of a job.
What are licenses? Why do you need them?
Manufacturers sell licenses. Each license allows me to buy and sell a certain brand of products. I already have several basic ones, but you'll need to buy more if you want me to bring in different brands. Many of the best licenses are hard to get, but they're well worth the cost if you can find them.
What do the different manufacturers offer?
There are too many for me to keep track of, but each license will explain what it's good for.
What are licenses? Why do you need them?
Manufacturers sell... I already have several. Many of the
ask
best
that?
licenses
Oh,
are hard to
items.
get, but they're well...
How often will you get new items?
Well, that depends on how many licenses you've purchased. But I'll rotate items on a regular basis regardless. And anytime we land someplace with a big enough port, I'll buy, sell, and trade whatever I can. Check back often. I need to move items quickly, so only the most basic items will be stocked consistently.
Let's see what you've got.
You bet, Commander.
You got heavy armor. Light armor. Oh, he's got Scorpion. I think, if I remember correct, like, Scorpion's like the best. I think. I don't know. No, I think I'm super wrong at that. Medi-gel and grenade upgrade. Yes. Permanent upgrades. So, just like those upgrades, pretty much every store sells, like, it's usually licenses, and the licenses allow him to get better equipment. And I think the best equipment in the game is you need to buy licenses, and then he'll have it. There's a store on the Citadel that, once you're a Spectre, you can get access to, and I think it sells really good equipment, but I think he has the best equipment. If you get the licenses for him.
Shame about Jenkins, Commander.
Alright, time to go up to the ridge. Hidden loading screen. God, that elevator ride is so much shorter than what it used to be.
I'm glad you're okay, Commander. Losing Jenkins was hard enough on the crew.
Alright, I think this will be split up into multiple little bits because I keep having interruptions, but that'll probably be the norm for most of these videos because they're going to be super long videos. And I'm just getting them in when I can because this game's going to take forever, and I'm okay with that. But we're about to hit the Citadel, so I think that's good for part 1, and then we'll pick up there. We will hit the Citadel on the next part. The next part is still going to be a lot of exposition because pretty much the game opens up after you hit the Citadel. So until then, goodbye.